So bills in Xero works in a very similar way to invoicing. And bills can be literally, they've tried to keep it really language that makes sense. So bills will be any of your purchases. So this could be purchase invoices you receive. It could be receipts that you have in the shop, like you're going to Smith's, for example, buy stamps. It could be when you have a receipt from an online platform like Amazon or anything like that. So it covers receipts, bills, invoices. It's all lumped in together as bills. And just like the sales, you've got an overview here of what's waiting to be paid, what's overdue, when things are due to be paid. So you can see it all here nice and easily. And again, you can click through to each of them. You can click here to get through to the purchases overview. Click here for a new bill, and you can click up here for a new bill as well. You can, so if I come into bills to pay, you can use extraction software to bring your bills into Xero, which we use at Pink Pig and find it a lot easier than putting them all in manually. There's a couple out there. We use Dex, and that's what we're covering on this training course. HubDoc is one, and there's also Entry, and there's probably more coming to the market at some point as well. So you've got in here the bills, and let's just go in and do see all. So again, you can see here. You've also got functions here as well. So you've got e-invoicing is coming. And when that's here and live, we will add videos to the course accordingly. You can also email bills to Xero. So this is similar to extraction. It is a sensitive email, so it's only for you to use. You don't give it to other people, whereas with Dex and HubDoc and things, you can give the emailing address to your suppliers. So this is just for you. So you can just copy this and you can forward your bills into it, and it will come in as a draft invoice for you to review and approve. You can learn more here, and again, you can register for e-invoicing while it's still here. As I said, we will add the videos to this course as and when it becomes live. You've also got paying bills as well, so you can make payments to your bills, which is quite easy to do, and you can just literally click on here, explore and set up. I can't show you it on here because it is a demo and it won't actually let me do it. But basically, I've used it myself, and you can set it all up. It connects up to your bank, and you can choose people to pay and send it. If you follow through here, it has got all the instructions on how it works and how to do it and everything else. So yeah, that's something you can do as well. So looking at bills, again, very similar process to before. New bill up here. You've got your draft, awaiting approval, awaiting payment and paid, and you've got repeating as well, where you're trying to add the repeat. We recommend adding the copy of the receipt, invoice, etc. to each transaction here, so you've got it for future reference, especially when you're VAT registered. It just means that everything is saved digitally in Xero, and it just means that you don't need to faff around trying to find paper copies of receipts. You don't need to store it in your loft, your office, freeing up space for your home or your office. So we would recommend having that. But you could set up repeating bills for things that don't really need receipts, things like bank charges or things like that. You potentially would want to use a rule over a repeating bill, so it depends on how you want to play it. I have got one personally where I've got like loan repayments, and I've got it set up and it repeats and sets up as a draft, and then I go in and adjust and attach a copy of the loan repayment, so I've got all the details in there. You could do that with some of your direct debits if you wanted to. You can have them set up as drafts and then come back in once you've got the email and do it. But generally, it's easier just to use the extraction software if you are using it. So I guess that's this you would use if you're not using any type of extraction software. So new bill, and I'm just going to follow this through just so you can see the whole workflow. So a bill from Pig due in 7 days, reference 8. I'm just making this up by the way as we go along. You can attach a copy from here, so you upload it, or you can just drag and drop into it. It won't extract anything though. I'm actually just going to pop in year-end accounts. It's probably about finance really, but it's just an example. So again, you can either approve it straight away if it's just you, or if there's more than one of you and you want to use the workflow, you can put save as draft or submit for approval. I'm just going to submit for approval. So it's now in here. And again, you can do similar to what you did with invoices. You can review it, adjust it, look at the receipt, make sure you're happy for it to be paid, and click on approve. One thing to note with all bills, invoices and everything, even once they've been approved, you can still make adjustments. So you can come in, bill options, let's get rid of that. Bill options, you can copy it, you can edit it, void it, repeat. So that means turn it into a repeating bill. So if you just want to edit this, so potentially we've put the wrong tax rate on, we'd come in, change it and update it. So you can do that with your sales as well. Oh, the totals don't match. So it just means that this total up here always needs to match. So obviously if you're doing it on a sales invoice and you're changing anything price wise, then you'll need to resend it to your client and tell them it's an updated version. But yeah, you can change the account or things like that, change the region, department, anything like that you can change, and it doesn't need to be resent because this is more internal. If you're changing the VAT rate, you need to resend it again as well, so they've got the correct VAT invoice at their end. And then again, if you want to, you can then reconcile that when the payment goes out. You can reconcile that through the bank screen, which will cover any transactions, or you can come into here again and you can mark it as paid, the date it was paid, and the bank account it was paid from. So that's now moved into the paid. And repeating works in exactly the same way as the sales side. You can save it as draft or auto approved. And this is a really great way of awaiting approval, where you can see when things are due. You can change due dates if you want to. So you can see easier what's coming up when. You can see what the amount, if you've paid anything. You can also pop in plan dates as well. So if you're planning on doing a payment run on a certain day, you can say, right, I'm going to pay these. So let's say these smart agency ones, I'm going to pay these on the 3rd of May on the next payment run, and it pops it in. And this is really good, so that if you do this and you plan it all out and somebody brings it in to chase for payment, for example, that means anyone in your team will be able to jump on and say, oh, actually, it's got a plan date of XYZ to be paid. So that's when it's going to be paid. It just means that anyone has clear visibility on that. And just like with the sales, the expected payment date in, with this, if you pop a plan date in here and you have got software like Float for cash flow, it also pushes that through to there as well. So really cool on that one as well. And then if you are using the payment service, you want to make a payment, you can do clicking on here. No, sorry, that's not making the actual payment. If you're doing a batch payment separately, there is a button that says pay now when you are doing the payment, literally doing the payments. But if you're just doing a payment run, for example, you're marking these as paid. You can make payment. You can choose which you're going to pay it from. You can put the payment method. You can create a payment file, and that'll do a BACS transfer, which you can upload to your bank and do, or you can just mark it as paid. Put the dates and anything else. If you are using the payment service, you probably will want these in there. Create the payment. And then you can finish. And that'll mark it as paid. And what you can also do then is you can send a remittance to the supplier to say that you've made this payment, and send it over to them. So that is the full workflow of bills. Sorry.